Hey there, quirky people. Things have picked up in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Many would have thought that the franchise would slow down after Avengers Endgame, but they could not have been more wrong. The creative heads at Marvel Studios did their best to hide their intentions, but we got hit with the barrage of new shows and movies. After the pandemic, the rush of content has been relentless. From WandaVision to What If, it has truly been a wild ride. The most important thing about this content rush is that we've got a gamut of new characters in the MCU. WandaVision gave us Monica Rambeau. The Falcon and the Winter Soldier brought in the Patriot. Loki gave us Sylvie. Now What If has given us several other protagonists who could be regulars in the vast multiverse of this franchise. And what's crazy is that we've got some more coming in very soon. But for now, there is one particular character that we want to talk about, and he comes from What If. It's none other than the Dark Doctor Strange, aka Strange Supreme. He is probably the main protagonist of the entire animated series, and we were introduced to him in episode 4, which was titled, What If Doctor Strange Lost His Heart and Not His Hands. It was an intense episode, as Doctor Strange went through a very different arc than his MCU counterpart. While Doctor Strange in the MCU worked to stop Thanos, Dark Doctor Strange from What If decided to unravel the universe, albeit unwittingly. You see, the good doctor lost the love of his life in this episode. Christine Palmer was sacrificed to the plot gods in this episode. The reason was not any grander than plot convenience. But it happened regardless and became very crucial for this particular story. The rise and fall of Doctor Strange. Strange blamed himself for Christine's demise and dedicated his life to figuring out a way to reverse it. The man of science became obsessed with the occult and lost himself. He finally found Kamar-Taj in the depths of Nepal and was introduced to the Ancient One of this universe. She transformed him into the Sorcerer Supreme, much like what happened in the main Marvel Cinematic Universe. Everything happened like it was supposed to. As the Ancient One died, Dormammu was defeated and everyone was happy. Except Mr. Doctor over here. He no longer had Christine to ground him, and that made him use the Time Stone to travel back to the moment of Christine's death. He did this with the intention to save the love of his life. We have to say, we feel for the guy. But Strange was not able to change the outcome. No matter what he tried, Christine kept dying, over and over and over again. His attempts to save her became his own hell loop. He felt powerless, and the only way to break the loop was to get stronger. He broke out of the loop by destroying his universe, and unleashing the hell he was stuck in out into the universe. He wanted to change an absolute point in time, so he traveled to the lost library of Cagliostro, where he encountered a librarian. Here he found ancient knowledge that detailed how an absolute point can be changed. But this required a lot of raw magical power. Power that was way beyond the capacity of any human. Strange's lust for power. He needed to find a way to surpass his own boundaries, so the Sorcerer Supreme stooped down to using absorption magic. This was an ancient technique capable of consuming everything. It soon became the primary technique in Strange Supreme's arsenal. We saw this in full effect in the What If finale, when Strange Supreme ate a massive explosion and grew even stronger. His absorption became consumption, and consumption bred never-ending hunger. The more you consume, the less you are, and this meant that there was a chance that Strange lost himself. But he did not care about any of that. He consumed the power of mythical creatures for centuries. Here's every mythical creature Strange consumed. He started off small with an evil garden gnome, which gave him a taste. Up next was a cockroach that delivered Strange's new sinister-looking cape. The real scary being was a dark blue raven that has been named Nevermore by the fandom. It was presumed that the dark bird gave Strange Supreme his affinity for dark magic. Then there was a fire dragon that is suspected to be a servant to Surtur. This mythical creature seems to have granted Strange immunity to fire. He displayed this immunity in the What If finale as well. A snake-like being who has no name blessed Strange Supreme with stealth. A two-headed dog made an appearance. Some thought it to be Cerberus, who is the guardian of hell from Greek mythology. But this dog was actually supposed to represent the Egyptian god Amun-Ra. Consuming a god of this level must have given Strange some control over death as well. We also got to see a Namor villain make an appearance in this sequence, as Sue-Maquette showed up. He was seen as the incorporeal skull being that Strange absorbed. Strange Supreme's affinity for necromancy and dark magic was furthered, thanks to Sue-Maquette. Then there was a man-bat-like creature and the stag god. Both of them were easily absorbed and blessed Strange Supreme with extreme vigor and endurance. The final two creatures absorbed by Strange were particularly gnarly. Both of them were easily absorbed and blessed Strange Supreme with extreme vigor and endurance. The final two creatures absorbed by Strange were particularly gnarly. One looked like a dweller of the dark dimension. It could be an evil demon or something of that sort. And the last mythical creature in the show to be absorbed by Strange was Shuma-Gorath. No one can consume all of this multiversal being. So Strange powered up enough to a point that he could consume some of him. Shuma is a being beyond time. It is like a hydra that regrows two limbs for each one that is severed. Strange consumed some of its tentacles, and that allowed him to stockpile immense amounts of magical energy. Up until Shuma, all the creatures that were consumed were absorbed for one reason, and that was to hold Shuma-Gorath back. So you can clearly see here, Strange became insanely powerful. Dawn of the Dark Age. His consumption of power made him into a chimera of a human sorcerer. Strange Supreme wanted to save Christine at any expense. Apparently, the true cost for that was his sanity. He used his massive power to shatter through the safeguards that were put in place. Even his alternate self was no match for him. This version was close to our Doctor Strange from Earth 19999. The Grand Protection spell was ripped from him, and the good Strange was forced to become a part of Strange Supreme. The Dark Sorcerer used his sheer strength to shatter time. He broke down reality, dissolved everything for his obsession with love, and he even transformed into a chimera, which was an amalgamation of mythical creatures. With all reality being unraveled, everything including Christine disappeared. Because Strange Supreme is so powerful, he was the only one who was not eradicated. But all of his power was useless in front of the void he had created. It was almost like he ate his own universe. He had been warned of this consequence time and time again, but he didn't listen. The situation was quite sad, and the ending of the episode was truly harrowing. He became so powerful that he was able to sense the Watcher. At the moment of destruction, he begged the Watcher to help him, but that didn't happen. The Watcher is no god, and there was no coming back from oblivion. His unlimited power became useless because of his own foolishness, and in the end, he was left to eternally stew in his prison of a pocket dimension. But that's not all. He did get a great redemption arc.
Been there. Been living the dream alone in a prison of my own making ever since.
The Watcher asked him for his help when Infinity Ultron endangered the entire multiverse. The Watcher could not stop him alone. So Strange Supreme showed incredible prowess in this battle with the robot. He almost destroyed the machine single-handedly. The most surprising moment comes when Strange Supreme ate the explosion that I talked about earlier. This explosion was supposed to wipe out the entire planet, but Strange Supreme was not impressed by that measly power. He absorbed gods and beings of immense power. He'd probably absorb any power you throw at him, as long as it is convenient to the plot of the story. This is because he has spent centuries practicing his absorption, but his main advantage in a fight is quite twofold. He has almost unlimited raw magical power from the mythical creatures. He can also use these mythical creatures to his own advantage by manifesting them through his body, but sometimes he loses control of them. We saw this when just a little bit of Shuma-Gorath burst out of his wrist. But he mostly had a handle on these creatures. On top of that, he was also able to cast powerful protection spells upon his teammates.
Feel it.
Oh, what is going on?
It's a protection spell. You're welcome.
It was akin to the cosmic energy that the Eternals are powered by. All of this makes Strange Supreme a truly terrifying foe to encounter in the normal flow of things. And he'd be the greatest asset to have in a team. There might be just a few people in the entire multiverse who can oppose Strange Supreme. Maybe this is the reason why there are so many theories of this character appearing in the Multiverse of Madness. People want to see Strange Supreme battle the main universe's Doctor Strange, as he has also grown very strong. Whether our Sorcerer Supreme will get to battle this one or not remains to be seen. But one thing is for sure. If it happens, it will be a match to remember. We cannot wait for Strange Supreme's debut into the MCU. Do you think he'd ever get to show up in live action? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Give us a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button if you enjoyed the video. And don't forget to check out some more fun content on our channel. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye!